Okay, I'm back. Welcome to Stampin' Fun and More weekly virtual class. It is take 2. I have no idea what was going on there. I actually had to delete my old event and completely delete everything to get started again. And I'm still having the same problem. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I'm going to restart my computer, and I'm just going to run with this. So please let me know that you're here. Right now, while I'm looking at my camera, I can see if people can find me. If you're seeing me, I'd appreciate knowing. Leave me a comment. Say, yep, I can see you. Yep, you're live. Something. Because I don't know what is going on. All right. So in the meantime, though, I am hoping I am live. And I'm going to flip down my camera. I'm going to come back and do another video about the starter kit. Oh, good, we're back. About the starter kit, and I'll chit-chat about that since I had to delete the other video. We're just going to get started on classes. So I don't have everything prepped up like I normally would to show you what your class kit would be. But you can get tonight's class for free when you place a $40 order in my online store. I will have a link to that in my comments. So you'll see that if you're watching the YouTube video, you'll see it in the description. So yeah, I'm kind of a little thrown off by what Facebook is doing right now. So I apologize. I'm just gonna jump into crafting because I'm so thrown off. Let me get my light on, put some light on the subject. I'm gonna flip my camera down. So if you get dizzy, please close your eyes. I'll let you know when to open them. Okay, you can open them now. You see my desktop here. Okay, I'm gonna quick see if I can actually get on to my computer here. Oh, drop the keyboard. And if I don't see it right away, I'm just gonna go ahead and start our projects. Okay, I may have to clear cache and everything else like that, so it could be something with my computer. Although I have a newer computer, I shouldn't have to do that. But sometimes, if you don't delete the old cookies, yeah, that's what's happening. Okay, so we're just going to turn it off. All right, so what I'll do is, if you have any questions about anything, I will come back after the video. I'll read them and I'll respond, just because I can't see it now. So, as I said a little earlier, I apologize for starting so late today. I had some little visitors here that you saw the pictures of earlier. And we had some fun while we're waiting for Dad to get home from work. And this is not my thick paper. I need to start with a piece of thick basic white. And so you're going to see me start everything from scratch here because I didn't have time to prepare for it. My son's sitter took a vacation day today that we weren't quite expecting. So was not prepared for any of that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this. I'm going to score it at 5.5. And then I'm going to cut it at 4.25. This way it gives me 2 bases right away. And I don't have to worry about it. All right. So I've got my 2 bases. A lot of times with thick white especially, I like to score it with my trimmer. But one of the things that you can do when you're getting ready to put your cards on, see how they didn't go completely flat? If you take them at the same time and kind of squeeze that together, they lay a little bit flatter. And I apologize for being a little bit raspy. I do have some really bad allergies kicked in with the sun and the rain, the mildew and the pollen, and, yeah, you know how that goes. Okay, good, I found my stamp set. So the first stamp set we're going to be featuring is our Meant to Be. I'm also going to be using the coordinating dies. This is such a cute suite. It's okay, and it does have coordinating designer series paper that goes with it. I am actually not using this tonight. This is actually part of my club that I'm offering right now. Club is available through June 19th, so you have to sign up for that. And we have some really cute fun fold cards. So go ahead and check it out. You can do it for 1 month, or you can, if you do it for 6 consecutive months, I send you a goodie bag of $25 worth of product, absolutely free in your 7th month. All right. So I've already taken the dies out of here that I need to use. We're going to put that to the side. I have my stamp set out, so I can put that to the side. Okay, so when I ask you where it is, it's on the side. Okay, okay. Thanks, Amy. I appreciate it. All right, so I don't know who's all there. So everyone, make sure to say hi so I know who's all watching, because I can't see anything on my computer. I'm just kind of running on my camera, which is up there, so I can't see anything, any comments. So please, please, please say hi, send me some love, let me know that you're watching. It helps me just get a better idea of, you know, what to bring to you. Okay, let's see. Oh, my card base. All right, so I have my card base here. We're actually going to be turning it this way. All right. And I decided to do more of a kind of a punch art, what we used to call punch art. Okay. This is a card that we're going to be making. Very simple, but really still super cute. So I thought, oh, you know what? We're going to do that for tonight. We're going to add a little bit of extra bling on our card, but okay. So we have a piece of petunia pop. It is 4 by 5 1/4. That's going to be our first layer on here. I'm going to go ahead and just put that on right away. And my seal was buried under some things. Now this is actually one of the card kits, so all this is already done for you. The only thing that won't be done is obviously the stamping and then the die cutting, because you have to stamp and then die cut. So I do not include anything with the meant to be stamps or dies. All right, then I have a piece of this designer series paper I was talking about, and this is the Botanical Textures paper. It's all black and white, and gray. All right. So really just kind of the splatter pattern is what we're going to be using over here. I'm going to be stamping on this, but I'm going to, we're going to do our stamping first, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that. All right, so I've got a piece of petunia pop. This, I will just be die cutting my flowers. If I can find where my die went. I don't think I put it away. Here it is. Found it. Okay, we'll be die cutting some flowers out. We'll be stamping a bee. So I've got my little paper here, and I'm going to stamp that in petunia pop. I am going to grab a scrap piece of paper, and I'm going to stamp off. So let me grab my scrap right away. I had it sitting down below me here. All right, there we go. Because this petunia pop is a pretty dark color, I want to stamp off. All right, so stamp that off, and then I'm going to stamp it right here. All right. Oh, didn't realize I had a little something on there. Oh well. All right, next we're going to take our Memento Black, and I'm going to stamp the bee butt. This is such a cute, cute stamp set. And it does coordinate with the Cute as Can Be that was offered before. You can use the punch for the smaller bee, but there are 2 size bees in this pattern, in this stamp set, I mean. So I'm going to go ahead and just look through my block and stamp my bee. Ooh, that turned out pretty good. Sometimes I don't get my little bee butt in the right place, but I got it that time. All right, let's get this cleaned off. And I might as well get this put away right away. Let's peel off that layer. I like to put things away as I go here, so that way I don't have as much of a mess on my table, and I have more room to craft with. All right. So I know it does take a couple extra seconds for me to clean those as we go, but especially when I use black ink, I really do like to clean my stamps in. All right, next we're going to go ahead and grab this strip of, it's a 1-inch strip of basic white. I'm going to go ahead and stamp that with my black since I have it out. And make sure that it's fully inked. And I'm going to stamp Love This Life. All right, go ahead and clean that one. Oh my goodness, that's not going to work over there. Okay, hold on. I was trying to have my cleaner on top of my pile of stamps and it wasn't working. All right, so I'll take that and put this one away. All right. I've got a little bee face. I'm trying to do all my black pieces first before I cover that up. So I've got my bee. My bee is going to be going up and down. So I want to make sure that I've got my little face going the right way. And I do want to get this one put away because I've lost this one 3 times. All right. We're done with our black. For the moment. We have one other thing to stamp in black, but I really can't do my little beeline here until I get everything else laid out. So we'll move that away. I'm going to do this. And now I need my pool party. We'll stamp our wings. I don't know why, but I always use pool party for my wings. I don't know. That's the color I go with. All right. So now we have these little strips here. You've got 3 little strips in your kit. Okay. You'll be getting 2 of each of the designs in your kit. So when you place your $40 order in my online store, now through Tuesday next week, you will get this card kit for free. I mail that to you, and I'll be emailing the tutorial, so make sure I have your email address. I then have another piece of Shy Shamrock, and we're going to make some grass out of here. All right. Well, let's just go ahead and do it now, and then we'll get to our die cutting. All right. So I am just going to take my snips here, and I'm just going to do all different lengths, widths. It doesn't matter. Okay. This is kind of an old school technique. I usually use this technique like when I'm doing an Easter card, because then I put my little Easter bunny in there. You can make your grass however you want. I'm just slicing here, not really paying a whole lot of attention. All right. So now what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up just kind of fluffing this. All right. I'm curling the grass. All right. Just making it go back and forth. Now, I am going to trim some of this down, but we'll be doing that later. And let's see, I'm going to do these now. Let's go ahead and do our die cutting. I'm just going to grab my mini me here. Now, one tip I have is I do notice that when my cutting plates are really well loved, meaning there's a lot of, dents and all that kind of stuff in there, I notice that my dies will hop around. Okay, they won't stay in place. So when that happens, what I need to do is use a piece of washi tape, Scotch tape. I personally prefer Post-it note tape because it's not as sticky, and I'll hold my things in place. Tonight, I'm just hoping for the best. See, that just kind of bounced around on me. But it'll be all right. It'll be good for what we're doing. It's fine. All right, we'll do this next piece. And I'm going to put my flowers, get my flowers going at the same time here. And I'm not stamping for my flowers. I'm just doing my die cutting. Ooh, that really completely moved. Ooh. That would have been a bad wing. Other things you can do if you have, if your plates are so well used and it jumps around. You can die cut your shape out first and then stamp it. That's another way to do it. I think it's a little harder with these narrower pieces, but you definitely can do it on most other pieces. All right, come on. Let's get out of there. I don't have a feeling that everything is not working well tonight. It's one of those days. I don't know why. Well, work was very hectic for one. And during my lunch break, I tend to just come up to my studio and kind of prep things for the rest of the day. That didn't get to happen. I just had a lot going on today. Do you guys ever have one of those days where you don't have anything planned and all of a sudden you have like 100 things happening? All right. I'm not complaining. I'm just, you know, it is what it is. You know what happens. All right. Now, I'm going to assemble my bee and then I can do my little squiggle line. So the way I'm going to assemble my bee is I'm actually going to take my liquid glue. I'm going to do my 3 dots here. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 right on the inside there. Right there. And I'm going to just put that down right there. Okay. And I'm going to reinforce it with my dimensionals. But I like to get this kind of situated where I want it to be. No puns intended. All right. And I'll grab one for here, and then right in the middle here. Oop, that was a backing. That was not a dimensional. All right, so I'm catching the pieces of the wings as well. And I didn't want to take those off yet. Okay. Let me try to put these back on, because I need to kind of layer where this is going to go before I hear it. All right. So now I've got this. The Love This Life needs to be trimmed down, so you can trim it straight or you can cut it at an angle. I'm going to go ahead and cut it at an angle. All right. I'm going to change up my card just a little bit from what I originally had planned. So we're going to do that. I'm going to tuck my grass underneath here just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere these 2 things on right away. All right. Look at this. Now, if you don't like as wide as this is, you can cut your grass down further. Or you can make you can trim off a piece of that. I'm okay with how it looks. It's fine. All right, so now I'm going to take my little 1/8 inch strips here, and I'm going to trim a couple down. I'm going to take my flowers here. I'm going to lay one of them I want a little bit longer, and the other 2 I want a little shorter. So I'm kind of layering here just to see where I need to put and this one I'm going to even cut shorter. Here, I've got a short one right here. All right. Okay. So now I'm just going to take my dimensional again. Boop. Boop. And boop. All right. So we can, again, before we adhere it down, I'm going to kind of slide these in place where I want them to be. I want this tall one in the middle. I want this one off to the side, and this short one right here. All right, little clump of flowers. I'm going to have my bee right here. So then, we're going to grab our little busy bee, and I'm going to stamp it from my flower to that corner, just like that. And I can adhere everything down now. Slide my flower in right there. Slide this one in here. And I'm going to overlap them a little bit. And I'll slide this one right here. Okay. Now I'm going to take my bee and I'm going to put my bee right here so it covers that little top. So put that right there. Well, before I do that, let's just make sure I'm not going off my card too much. There we go. No, you know what? There. Oh, that doesn't work because I need his little butt angle there. All right. Good enough. Okay. Is that going to still be on? It'll barely be on. Just make sure you don't go past the edge of your card. So I'm just going to bring it down even a little further. There we go. All right, we'll put adhesive on here. Just like that. And I'm going to curl these back up again. And I'm roughing them up. If they tear, that's fine. Yeah. Okay. Now the last thing to do is add our bling. So let's go ahead, and I am using the shimmer gems. So let's go ahead and I'm going to put the peach. Oh, I don't like how that looked. All right. We're going to do the Shy Shamrock in the middle of our flowers. Okay. And then I'm going to take a couple of petunia here. I'm going to put one right there. And we'll put one right up here. All right. So that is our finished card. There we go. All right. Let's put these dies away. And let's get for our next card. All right. I don't need these stamps. Put all these away. Isn't this a cute stamp set? I just think it's adorable. Okay. And any other stamp? Nope. Looks like I got them all. All right. And put my dies away. Oh, what was that? Because I don't want to lose those. And normally I have my dies in my stamp case, but this is so much bigger that it won't work that way. All right. Healing, Hugs and Healing. I don't know why I always call it Healing Hugs. We used to have a stamp set called Healing Hugs. Totally different than this one. But this is Hugs and Healing. Where'd it go? Hugs and Healing. Isn't that just adorable? I think it's so cute. All right. On this one, uh-oh, where did my sketch go? There it is. Okay. We're going to be using this paper here. And I am going to use, we're going to be using our cat here. So I will be coloring my cat with my, I'm going to use my blends. You know I always use my blends, but you can use your colored pencils or your markers, whichever you have. But I like to use my blends. So that's when we use, I'm going to use Smoky Slate. And I want a little pink for my nose. So I'm going to use my Bubble Bath, okay? And I'll need a color for my, you know what, we're just going to use Bubble Bath. We're going to use these two and be done with it, all right? And we'll use a piece of Bubble Bath here. All right. And I'll need a piece of black. Where's my black? Where's my black? Oh no. Yeah. I need basic gray. That's what I need. I have all my little notes off to the side here, so if you're wondering what I'm doing, that's what I'm doing. Okay. So these are the 3 colors we'll be using. And I will also need my embossing folder. So I'm going to grab the corrugated embossing folder. It's one that is part of that botanical suite. Right. And we'll grab our large die cut machine here. And we'll need our 2 plates. This is a 3D embossing folder, so it's going to be pretty thick, so you only have to use your plates, your base plate, your 1, and then your number 4. Okay. So what will happen is, oh, I didn't even know I had a piece in there. Okay. I put my cardstock right inside here, and I have my Stampin' Up facing up. I have my hinge facing in, and I'll run that through the machine, and hopefully I have it straight. Okay, and I'm going to need a die, so we're going to use the, I need my tag. Oh, that is not going to be big enough. Oh, let's see, where's my stamp? Oh, that should be, okay. All right, this die here is from our Party Banners dies. Look how many different ones you have. So this is great for scrapbooking. Can you see how big these are? Or if you're having a party, you can make a banner, you know, a banner from your big ones here. All right, but we're just going to use this one. And let's see, Pretty Bubble Bath is going to be my go-to. I need to have this in white. So let's die cut this from a piece of basic white. Do I have a piece right here? Yeah. Oh, too long, too wide. Let me trim it down. Again, all this will be in your kit. Your pieces will all be cut and die cut for you, so you don't have to do that. I will do that for you. I need my plates now. Base plate. So sometimes it makes the video shorter if I have everything prepped ahead of time, but there's a lot of times I like to be able to share these with you, so, you know, share how I prep everything up. That way, if you want to rewatch the video and pull out your tutorial, you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so I have this piece and I have this piece, and I will need my bubble bath. I'm going to cut this to 5.5 by 8.5. And I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. All right. So now, this is, I just got to measure how wide this is here. I didn't have that written down. So this is, so we're going to do it 2.5. So this was 5.5. So if I go 2 inches, I go 1 inch, and then 2.5, and then 1 inch. I actually need this to be 1.5 and 1.5. Okay. I'm going to take this side here, and I am going to go to my 1.5 inch mark right here, and I am going to cut to my score line. Okay, right to my score line. Okay. And then I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing. 1.5 to my score line. All right. So now I have this right here. I have these two little flaps. I can either cut them off or I can just hide them. So we are just going to hide them. So I'll go ahead and adhere it down. I didn't have that folded down very straight. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to take some liquid glue and adhere my corrugated basic gray on the inside. I do want to add enough glue that it's going to catch and hold. All right. All right, so there we go. All right, oh, I have a little bit of excess over here. I'm just going to take my snips and trim that off. Okay. All right. Now, this flap is 2.5 inches wide. So what I need here is a piece of designer series paper that is going to be 2.5, 2 3/8. Right, I just want to make sure what my, before I tell you to cut. Yeah, 2.5, 2 3/8. 2 3/8 by 5 3/8. Right. Oh, sorry. It was 2 3/8 by, my original was 4 1/4. So I want to go down 1/8 of an inch. So 4 1/8. So 2 3/8 by 4 1/8. I forgot that I was doing this flap. All right. So you can turn it whichever way you want. Doesn't matter. We're going to go ahead and adhere that down. Just like that. Okay. We're going to be putting our little tag on the front. We're just going to have it at an angle. Well, we can have it straight. We're going to be stamping on here, so let's get our black memento, and let's get our stamp here. So pretty much everything for this card is going to be sent to you. The only thing that's not going to be done is I'm not going to stamp it for you. And I don't include the embellishments in the class. You'll have to have your own embellishments. But, you know, you probably have a lot of it laying around. All right. So I'm just going to stamp this right in the middle. Ooh, that stamped terribly. Let's try that again. Good thing the paper is reversible, right? Okay, I just must have pressed the face too hard. Okay. So we're just going to put that right there. There we go. That is much, much better. All right, and I'm going to stamp sending healing hugs to you. And will it fit on there? Or do I need to add a strip? It was supposed to go on the top. I did not leave enough room, but we're gonna do it anyways. So probably stamp your sentiment, and then you can stamp your cat in a better position. Where did my cleaning? All right. let's get to coloring him. I'm going to first take my bubble bath and get his little nose. I'm going to take my dark bubble bath, and I'm just going to color the whole sling here in the dark bubble bath. I think this is such a cute set. And let's go ahead and start with our dark smoky slate here. And I'm just coloring where the artist has some lines there. We'll get the bottom of the feet, tail, just kind of outlining around. All right. Then I'll come back in with my light and blend that together. I want to make sure I don't color the eyes because you want a little bit of white in the eyes to really kind of make those eyes pop out. All right. And I'll pull some of that dark into my whiter area, my white area. I could have left him with a white tummy, hey? That would have been really cute. All right. Just want to blend that in a little bit more. There. Okay. So we're just going to pop this up on some dimensionals. Like that. And then we're going to have a piece of basic white cardstock. That's going to measure, I have to cut it straight. Hold on, please. I'll be cutting it at 2 1/4. Well, we can go to 2 1/2. We'll go to 2 1/2. A little bit more room to write on. So I did it 2 1/2 by 4. I want to make sure it's hidden under this flap. So I will be putting it right here. If you're going to write something or anything else like that, do that before you adhere this on, because you're not going to be able to once this is on this corrugated part. You're going to have all those ridges. So go ahead and do your writing first, or you can put it here. Totally up to you. I kind of like it here, so it's hidden. All right, there we go. Let's add some little bling to this. Let's see, what do I have here? I have, well, hey, I've been using this all week. I might as well just continue with it, right? We'll just use our, I'm going to use the large ones. Basic rhinestones. Put one in here. Put another one over here. I'll put a, I'm not going to use my small ones on the corrugated part because I think it will fall off. We can put a couple small ones right here. We can put one right. Oh, come on. Go where I want you to, not where you want. Okay. Right there. And we can put another one, I don't know, right down here. Okay. So there we go. That's our second card. And now our third card. Again, you get all the supplies to make 2 of each. Why won't this? There we go. Sorry, I moved my camera here by accident. All right, third card. Where are you? Our extraordinary flora. So we're going to be using this piece right here. And this piece is going to be measured at 4 by 5¼ Yeah, and you'll be getting your designer series paper with your kit. Don't worry, you'll have that with that. All right. I'm going to use my other 4¼ by 11 piece of thick basic white basic white cardstock. I don't know why that was a challenge for me. It was. Okay, so we have that. And then from our meant to be dies, I already have my pieces already die cut here. Oh, I don't have my extra piece. Okay, I need to cut one more piece. I need my inside there. So I'm looking for my cardstock. All right. So meant to be. I had a whole pile of all those over on the side of my desk. So I had it all ready for tonight, and I must have used them. All right, so this is the one I want. Hold please, I think it's this one I want. I have to put this back on. All right, there. Yeah, it's this larger one. All right, let's get this one through the die cut machine. Again, I'll actually do this piece for you. You won't have to worry about that. But just with all the B pieces, I won't be doing those. But I will have this piece done for you. This and the back will be done for you. So on this one, this particular die cuts out 2 pieces. So from here you get 2 different pieces. All right. So we're going to have this. And we'll be putting this on the inside. Just laying it together. All right. Then we're going to get our, put these 2 things back. Our extraordinary floral. I don't know. Extraordinary. I don't know what that word is. Okay. I discovered I was overthinking it, and I'm not going to overthink it. Okay, come on. Get in your place like you're supposed to be. All right, here we go. Again, I've had to make several wedding cards, so this one's going to be a wedding card. So we'll be using that sentiment. Now, my stamp is stained because I've been using it with Stays On. Photopolymer stamps will stain with Stays On. Even if you use Stays On ink, at some point it'll stain. Because I've made like 20 cards. So this is going to be stained. It does not come off on your product though, on your other projects. So don't worry about that if you've cleaned it. All right, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to take that piece of white cardstock. Where did it go? Okay. So you'll be getting a whole sheet, or not a whole sheet, but you'll be getting a piece of cardstock that is 3.5 inches by 6 inches. All right, and reason being is because that's 6 inches by 3.5. And you can stamp the whole thing, and you're going to get 16 different images out of it. So I'll run it through. I have some already done. I've got a lot of them already done. On this particular one, I actually ran it through one of my colors. So actually, you know what, let's go ahead and do that. Instead of coloring, we're going to just grab, oh no, we'll color. I have some of these other pieces that I actually used a blending brush to color. And so I'm just going to grab some of those pieces out. This is also part of the Extraordinary Flora class. I've made a lot of different cards, and you can see I teach you different techniques on using window sheets, putting it on regular white cardstock, also stamping on your colored paper. So That's what we have there. But I'm gonna show you how this one works. Just so you can see the ooh and the ah of this one. It is pretty cool. All right. So you either need to have a large block or you need to have like a Stamparatus or something. Now, where in the world did my large block go? I had it out. I used it. Where'd it go? Oh my goodness. I had it out specifically for this. Where did I put it? See, again, I lose something every single time. It doesn't matter how prepared I am or lack of being prepared. I always lose something. I'm just looking at my pile over here because that's where I saw it last. And it's not there. Well, there goes my speaker. I don't know where I'm going to go. All right, I guess I'll use my Stamparatus then because I have no idea where that large block went. It should have been right out here. Sorry, I was just looking again because I'm like, I frustrate myself when I misplace something that big. Can't believe I did it. Okay, Stamparatus it is. All right, so I'm going to need my little magnets here. I just need to hold down my paper. I'm going to put this right on my paper. All right. Pick that up. And I'll come over here and get this inked up with my black memento. If you're going to use, excuse me. If you're going to use watercolor pencils or you're going to use markers, use your StazOn ink. And I botched this one. It's got too much ink on it. Hold on. Where'd that scrap piece go? Yeah. I just have to use this. I got too much ink on that side of the stamp. Excuse me. So registration for my Flora Extraordinary Flora class ends June 3rd. You're going to be getting some of the coordinating washi tape with it. You're going to get window sheets. You're going to get the basic rhinestones. And I think there's something else with it, but I don't remember. Okay, there we go. Oh, man. Must be just getting late for me now. All right, I'm going to just clean this off real quick. Again, it's not going to be coming perfectly clean because it was stained with my StazOn ink. I just want to make sure I get most of the ink off of there. And we'll put this there. We'll take this out. Again, we don't sell the Stamparatus, so you either have to have that or a Misty, or like I said, a large block. Okay. So I'm just quick show how to color some of these things. I've got my greens right there. So we're just going to color the ones with the flowers. And let's see, we'll just take, you know, we'll just take one flower. Let's see, what color should we use? I want to do something different. I've used the pink. Let's use, I don't know What should we use? You know, I haven't used, I'm going to use strawberry slush. That's what we're going to use. All right. So I'm going to start with just adding some of the dark in here. I'm going to come back with my light. Just blend it all together. All right. I'm going to do some of the smaller flowers here. I'll do a couple of these. All right, one more. I'm not going to color all of them in. I'll come back after I die cut it and color some in. All right, I'm going to color these greens, and we'll use our granny apple green. I'm going to use my dark granny apple green here. You could definitely use your light and dark. I'm just doing my dark just to speed up the video here. Alright. And this one. I'm like, I knew there was another one that I had to color my leaves on. But this is great. I mean, if you do like to color, this is a pretty easy one to color. Whether you're using your blends, your blending pens, or your watercolor pencils. You can even stamp on the watercolor paper. And let's get our centers in there. I'm just going to use, since I have this one right here, I'm just going to use my bubble bath. Okay. There. Alrighty. Let's pull in this die, because oh my gosh, it is so cool. Now there's only one die that comes in here, but this one die cuts out, what did I say, 27 different things in here? Or 16, I don't remember. You have to count them. Alright, so we're just going to do this. Let me actually bring in my little guy here. Okay, I was going to bring my little guy in. What did I do with those? Set it on the floor next to me. Alright. Let me just show you. So, it's going to layer on like this. It's going to cut out all those little pieces. All at one time. I don't have to, you know, try and stamp to line anything up. The whole stamp lines everything up to your die just right. I mean, that is slick. Because I can't tell you how many times I've tried to, like, line up my stamps so I can get them all cut perfectly at one time. Yeah, it doesn't always happen. All right. Okay. So let's check out how that's going to look. We'll pop out all those little pieces. All right. And if I layered it on there pretty good, I will have all of this. Now I could use black and white, you know, just like that. You could emboss, heat emboss that stamped image. We're just going to do this. So I'm going to bring this one in. And again, let's go ahead and adhere this down. My son asked me to make some wedding card for him, and I have no idea what colors people are in the wedding, you know, what they're wearing. So I'm just going with, you know what, let's go with black, white, and just some really kind of summery colors. So here we go. I'm going to take this one and put it down first. Because I'm not going, I'm going to stamp on it. let's get our pieces laid out here. Just trying to figure out how many pieces I really want to use. Maybe I'll just keep it off to the side just a little bit. And I could take this piece and put it right in there. There we go. That'll work for me. Okay. And I want to stamp my sentiment for the extraordinary couple. I would stamp if I could find my stamps. Where'd they go? Where did they go? In the front? Yep, in the front. Okay. Let's see if this will fit. And it won't, so I will simply just take a strip of basic white, 1/2-inch strip, take the sentiment here. I'm just going to stamp it right in black. I'm going to trim this at an angle on both sides because it's going to come off that. So I'm just going to stick it up with my dimensionals. All right. Now that I know where this is going to go, I'm going to go ahead and adhere all these pieces together first. Then I'll worry about putting it behind the black one and all that good stuff. So let's see, what am I doing? I'm using my liquid glue. I'm going to start with my piece here. And I'll just layer it right here. All right. Now, I'm just going to put some thin lines here. You could use little dots. You could use your precision glue, which I should have probably done, but it was clogged. So we're just going with that. All right. So I'm going to put this one on, get this straightened out where I want it to be. All right. Push those down a little bit. All right, I'm going to just put this one down. Just kind of fit it right in there. It'll fit right in there like a puzzle piece. We can take some dimensionals on this one. So again, like I said, right now I can't see your comments, but I will come back and answer them. Make sure if you have any questions, I can answer them right away for you. Just going to pick up some of this because all these pieces here are going to go right in my little bin because I've got more things to do with those. Okay. Extraordinary couple. I think I should add a little something there, hey? So let's grab some linen thread. I'm going to pick this back up real quick. All right. And I'm just going to Wrap this around my hand a couple times. Maybe too much. Well, let's see. Okay, that's sticking to my hand. It's really irritating me. I felt like I had too much there. So, all right. I do want to make sure that I have this in the middle. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my seal. Come on. And I'm just going to just start making some loops. Come on. Ugh, my seal is not running. There we go. I'm just making some random loops in here. I am having a tough time with this right now. Hold on. It'll get better in just a second. This is so curly and wavy that it just is causing me a little grief. All right. And we'll put a couple small ones right there. I don't have to do a whole lot because there's not a, not a whole lot of area. So I'm just going to put that down like that. Just a hot mess. It's okay. It'll look good in just a minute. All right. Okay. And we have our little rhinestones. And I'm just going to put them all over an opening. You're not really going to see them down there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what? We're going to put one right here. 6. Come on, 6. And I'll put one right here. 7. All right. There we go. Okay. See how simple and quick these are? I mean, this stamp set and die, even though you don't come out with a lot of dies, you actually do have a lot of dies in here. And it's a smaller stamp set, but you know what? It is phenomenal. I mean, it is just a lot of fun. I've made so many different cards, and they're so fast to do. The longest part is just picking out what flowers you want to put on your card. So I'm going to go ahead and put this away. And I'm going to bring out all the cards that we made tonight. And again, if you're not on my email list, get on my email list, because I will be sending things out tomorrow morning about all the different events. I'll also be resending information about the virtual album. Again, that is 24 pages. So it's 2 12 by 12 layouts. I'm looking for my other cards. Here. Get all these things out of the way. All right. So just a little bit of fun tonight. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and you get to spend it with people that love and appreciate you and that you love and appreciate. Make your time with them worthwhile. Life is too short not to enjoy each other's company. So I will see you all later, and make sure to stop in over the weekend. I may have some surprises out there. All right, take care. Thanks so much for being here. Bye.